Welcome to How to Cook That. I'm Reardon, and today we're going to make this pretty flower cake using just buttercream for those decorations. For the filling between the layers, we need mascarpone, cream cheese, icing sugar, and vanilla. And I'll put all the recipe quantities on the howtocookthat.net website in grams and ounces and cups for you, and there's a link to that below. Mix that together until it's combined, and then for the syrup you'll need sugar, water and coffee. Add the sugar to the water and heat it until it's dissolved, and then add in your coffee and stir that through well. For the cake itself, I'm using my sponge cake recipe, and I'll link you to that video in the blog post too. Brush on as much or as little of that coffee syrup as you like, and then add a generous amount of the cream cheese filling. This syrup together with the filling gives it a bit of a tiramisu sort of flavour to the cake. Stack on the next layer, more syrup, loads more filling, and then the top layer. Mix up a batch of my buttercream, and again I'll link you to that video in the blog post, and cover the whole cake in a thin layer of buttercream. Now you could use ganache here or whatever frosting you like for this part. We're just covering the whole cake. Use a spatula to smooth out the top and smooth the sides of the cake. Then run the curved end of your spatula around the base of the cake, and then in a straight line just above the line you've made, and repeat that all the way up the sides. For our flowers, we want to mix different colours, and you can do whatever you like. I'm using a green, some pinks and purpley colours, yellow and a little bit of uncoloured frosting. Now take a flower spike. Now this just makes it easier to twirl whatever you are piping. That's why we have one of these. Put a little bit of frosting on it and then a piece of non-stick baking paper on top. Then pipe a cylinder of yellow, and then just add some extra little bits on top there. Just squeeze and pull up and squeeze and pull up so that it makes the centre of your flower. Next, take some pink icing and a 1-2-5 piping tip and pipe around the centre all the way around there, and then add the petals going up and down, then just up, around and down, and keep going around like that until you are happy with the size of your flower. Next, start in the middle and pipe a tall blob, and then pipe around it with the pink to make the centre of the flower. Then pipe the petals just like we did before and keep going all the way around your flower. And you want to repeat that with different coloured pinks so that you get some variation on your cake. And once you've made those, you want to put them in the freezer so they can go firm. Then using your palest pink, make some little flowers, just piping up, across and in, up, across and in, and keep going so that you have 4 little petals. To make a rosebud, pipe a centre in whatever colour you have spare and then wrap it around in the green. Then pipe a flower colour in the centre using a 3-4-9 tip, twisting as you go. Then take a knife and close up the bud so that you can just see a little bit of the pink. For some extra greenery, pipe a blob of green and then pipe spikes on the top and all over it round the sides, and place that in the freezer to go firm. And then once it is firm, we want to pipe a little dot of white icing on the end of each spike. Add some icing in the centre of your cake just to raise up the middle of those flowers so it's not completely flat, so it looks a bit more like a bunch. And add on one of your bigger flowers and some of the little rosebuds around it, and then pipe on some green on the side, and then add your next flower into place. If you don't pipe that green first, you might find it a little bit hard to get in between the 2 flowers without bumping them. Continue to add more and more until you've covered the whole top of your cake. And if you live somewhere hot like I do, then you'll need to work fairly fast before they soften, or you can just put them back in the freezer while you're working. If you love How to Cook That, share the video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, subscribe for more cakes, chocolates and desserts. Click here to check out my other videos and here for the recipe. And if you like this style of cake, follow Ivan Oven on Instagram. She has been piping in this style for years now, and she is really brilliant. She doesn't know I'm giving her a shout out, so let her know that I sent you. Make it a great week, and I'll see you on Friday.